evening, everybody. So I just had inner dance session 6. It has been a week since my last inner dance session, and I do notice how your state of mind affects your session. So the previous sessions, I've always been in this very neutral, open state, and everything was flowing. Everything was happening very deeply, very experientially, very intense. And this time it was very subtle. Visuals were weaker, but it went. It was just very subtle. I wasn't moving that much, honestly. And I was just actually enjoying the music for the first time. So in the beginning, as the music started, it was a lot of inner energies that were being released or recycled. It felt like things just started to shift and move, and processes were started. I started to have like real deep experiences of going into myself, and I saw like this vault or this door, and it was being unlocked, and there was a darkness inside, and I saw this darkness appear from it, and it was like confronting with the darkness inside of me, and it was all coming out and being revealed to me. It was very powerful, because all of a sudden I felt this surge of energy stream through my body, and I realized how much untapped anger, how much untapped ruthlessness there was in me. Like, I was not, because I'm a spiritual person, I never thought of myself that I could harm somebody or kill somebody, or if the circumstances were necessary, and I doubted it. It's like, would I be capable of doing that? Like, I remember my coach, he asked me, if we were stranded on an island, right, and the food ran out, who would survive, you or me? And I hesitated, and he didn't. He said, I immediately would have just killed you and eat you alive. And I thought about it. I was like, yeah, something in me isn't activated like that. And he said, you don't value life, right? You value spirituality, you value consciousness, you value your experience or your idea of what is higher than life, than this life here. I don't know if I fully agree with that, because I do believe that there's more than this, and this is only a temporary thing, but there's something that is beyond temporary. Anyway, like, I felt this energy being unlocked and streaming through me, and I just felt like I now have like this anger in me, this power to destroy if it needs to be used. And then all of a sudden I saw like different vistas, like different images, different experiences, emotions. It was like a mountain that was like covered with snow, and the snow was falling, and I just felt the vibration of the snow gliding, and every movement was like a vibration of a shift, and I felt it. It was like I was the snow falling. My body was shaking a lot. Then I had like this very funny, this like a trip, like a psychedelic trip. I saw mushrooms, giant mushrooms, and it was like I was jumping from one dimension to another. I was walking on them and then going to another. I was underwater, or was it underwater? No, it was something else. It was like very dark. Anyway, I don't remember that. Like, honestly, it's a bit hazy still. Probably no underwater or no darkness, but something else was there. Like, there was a lot happening. There's too much actually for me to process this time. Usually I can recall it very easily, but this time it was very fast. At certain points, there was just there were like these things from my past that were hanging on to me, and it was just like I was just releasing them. Just felt how I was releasing them, and concern, thoughts, ideas, how I needed to release them, to detach from the story. And all of a sudden, like I started to sing Elohim, 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 and I feel like this intensity inside of myself to honor God, to serve God. It's just like it's innate. Like it's beyond the mind. It's something energetic and it's real and existential. It's like I don't even have to believe or be religious. It's there. It's there in me, and it's expressing itself without my mind. My mind is still like it tries to understand it, but it doesn't. So I guess it's just something innate within my soul. I felt like my energy body was fully activated. I was like maybe there was like wings coming out of my body, and it was kind of painful. But at a certain point, I started to have visions of what had happened in the previous KAP session. Saw the interaction I had with the girl, and it was like that moment, like replaying, and there were like thoughts and realizations coming up. It's like she's the one, she's your true love, she's the one you've been waiting for. And the moment, and every time that I saw her or I felt inside of her, I saw like these images of us in the past lives, like we were in a past life together, and we were looking for each other, and now we found each other again. And there was these thoughts that were coming. I will always choose her. I will always do anything for her. It was very strange. It was just all happening, but it was very beautiful also. At a certain point, it was like the moment was recreated. Like I was feeling inside my heart, and I was feeling inside her heart, and it was like my soul came out of my body and her soul came out of her body, and our souls like merged into one. And when that was happening, like that, the force or the shock wave of that energy colliding together and becoming one, a wholeness, like my body went in overdrive, and I just started to have like these convulsions and this shock for I mean 20, 30, 40 seconds, maybe 30 seconds or something. And it was like a lot of like, I don't know how to explain, but it was so intense. And the only feeling after that was like, we are one, we are one, we are one soul. And every time I say that, and I said that, we are one soul, we are one soul, it's like something in me is like it's like brightening up, flaring up. My mind is of course like, this is nonsense. What is this? This is just me having some hallucinations or some kind of, this is not real, this cannot be real, come on. Because she rejected my kiss when we were in the KAP session together. Like if you're interested about this story, look back to session 40 of KAP. So I saw how there was confusion in me, because my consciousness was shifting identities. So a certain identity here, a certain identity there, and a certain identity there. And the consciousness was always trapped in that identity, in those different identities. And because of that, there's sometimes confusion in the mind. Who am I? Which one of these personalities or these expressions? What is the real me? How am I really supposed to be? How am I really? And then there was the recognition that I need to just be still and to focus on being true, to being still, to being centered. And all those other stuff, it will fall away by themselves effortlessly. I just need to stay within myself and align myself to my true self. I then started to see more visions of the girl. So like a marriage contract, like literally all of a sudden it was like an active visualization, but I was not visualizing everything, just the images were coming up like so strong. And I was writing like her name, my name, or rather my name and then her name, and then like signing it with my signature, and it was like, we're married. And I felt like this deep connection. Like this was really happening. Like in the astral world, or I don't know what, but it's like it feels like it was like being presented to me that this is what needs to be manifested. It's like I'm receiving the guidance. Honestly, I don't know whether this will come true or not, but it's so funny if it comes true. Like I'm gonna have such a laugh looking back at this video, and if it's not, hey, it's a nice lesson for me to learn. So I started to see us like being together. Like we had a house, and all of a sudden I saw like that there was I impregnated her. She had a belly, she had a child, and like with that child, I remember we were going to my mother, to my grandmother. We were showing the child. I was rocking the child. All this time we were together, and then like a voice said, "This is your task. This is the task for the next phase of your life. Love her unconditionally. Be with her unconditionally. Raise a family with her unconditionally. Like give it all you have." And I started to see her with this pureness, with this pure vision of just I saw through her. It's like I saw her soul and her essence, and I realized we're the same. Like literally we're the same. And there was like this outburst of crying, like, "I'm so lucky to have found you. I'm so lucky to be with you. I will give you everything I have." It was that like coming out all of this like devotional stuff. Like, "I will go to the end of the earth for you. I will do everything for you because I want you all the way. I want to be with you all the way." And like this voice started to speak like, "You will love each other unconditionally. You will have moments of fighting. You will evolve together. You will grow together. You will push each other to raise higher and higher and higher." And that was such a beautiful, like when I saw all of that, it was so beautiful, and I was just overwhelmed by it, honestly. I just felt, if this is gonna come true, I feel so fucking blessed. Like, I mean, honestly, like how I perceive her now, it's like we're one soul, and I love her unconditionally. Like, if she would say yes, I would marry her tomorrow, and I would go all in. I would buy a house, get a kids. I would do all that. And it's funny, like I thought about it, like, isn't that strange? Like you have like these visions or these experiences, and then you're all in. But the thing is, it's not ideas or images that you see. It's like energetically in your soul, in your heart, you feel these emotions, and your energy is aligning in this way that it's almost, it is beyond thinking. It is there. It is something which there is no thinking to be about. And like also this voice that's instructing me, like this is your task. Raise a family with her, live with her, create together, create a space for healing together, work together, live together. And I was just like, my reaction to this all was like, why do I get to be so lucky? Why do I get to be so lucky to meet her? Why am I so lucky to live this with her? Like, that was so... Honestly, it feels too good to be true. And I'm speechless about this. Like, honestly, now I have all these images, I have all this information, and I have I have these inner desires to live that out. But the thing is, we haven't even had our first date yet. Oh boy. Funny thing is, a facilitator from KAP, she also told me that a year ago she started to see the energy of her soulmate in her visions. And a couple of weeks ago she met him, and she was like, I'm all in. I wanna live with him. I want to create a life with him. I want to have kids with him. But he needs time to process that. And I talked with her about it. I was like, are you really committed to this? She's like, yeah, of course, because it's true. I feel that it's true. I'm in alignment with that. So because she's going through that process now, I feel like almost encouraged to try it. Like, if this is really what my life is longing for, beyond my conceptual ideas and my ideas about myself and what my life represents, if this is really what is coming from my soul, and I don't know if it's coming from my soul, I just know that it's very intense, it's very energetic, and it's arising, and it's like I'm visualized, like these visualizations, they come and I act them out, and then there's this thing like, now I need to do it in reality. I don't know what to make of this. Honestly, this is a point now where I don't know what to make of this. I asked my teacher about like these visions, right? And a lot of KAP facilitators, they also say what happens in this session, you have to let it go, right? That's not so important. What really is important is what happens after the session, during the integration process, what changes are made, what actions are taken, how does it affect your life? How does your life change because of the energy upgrade? And I asked my teacher about these visions, and she said, you know, a lot of the times when the kundalini energy being activated that potently, there are a lot of energetic desires and information that's stored there being released from past lives or real desires that are now presenting themselves. But it doesn't always mean that they're supposed to be manifested now, because you don't know if you had a past life together, why it ended. You don't know why you separated. You don't know if you really wanted to be together anymore. So maybe it might be a cyclical thing. And she told me, if I were you, I would carefully for myself find out, is there something in me that is seeking fulfillment in that other person? Is it something in me that is egoistic, that is trying to use her, to get something from her, to make myself happy, to extract some quality from her? Or is it really this pure connection? And secondly, spend some time together, just get to know each other. Like, do you complement together? Do you guys are you compatible together or not? So I did that. I asked her, do you wanna like meet up and get to know each other? And she said, I'm gonna feel into it, whether it's right for me or not. And honestly, I think she's gonna say no, and I'm okay with that. I guess I am. Yeah, I am. But it doesn't change the fact that these things are here. And about that, my teacher said, just let it be. Don't resist it. Because if you resist it, you give it power. If you let it be, you just let it be, you express your truth, and you don't get attached to it, right? You just give it life. Because this is something that is energetically coming up. And you don't necessarily have to live it out, but do give it the time and space to be integrated, to be given life, to be processed. Yeah, but in me now, after this session, like, holy F, I feel completely devoted to that girl. I feel like there's this feeling like I just want to live my whole life with her. I just want to marry her, have children with her, spend my whole life together with her, and love her and grow with her. It's like, it seems so magical. Like the way I saw it, it was like, I thought like, why me? Why do I get to experience this? And yeah, the voice was just like, this is your task, this is what you need to do, this is what you need to focus on in the next phase of your life. And I just felt so freaking blessed. Anyway, so I'm out of the session now, coming back to center. I really like the quotes from Ramana Maharshi. He says, whatever is destined to happen, do what you may, but whatever you do or don't do, whatever is destined to happen, it will happen. So the best thing to do is to stay still and be yourself and let all things play themselves out. Life is really a mystic, a journey. And it can be lived in different ways, right? Because before this, it was all very 3D for me, very physical, very material. And now it's like balancing the two. It's like being in the spiritual world and in the real world, and combining those two together, like getting inspiration from there, connecting to the source, being guided, and living life in alignment with a higher consciousness, with a higher guidance than my own egoic personal desires. I'm really curious how this will unfold. I'm really curious. Anyway, thank you so much, guys. Yeah. Is she my twin flame? Is she not? What will happen? I don't know. But I will document this. And this is... this is either a video where I just embarrass myself, or this is a video showing that something happened here and now it's gonna happen in real life. Anyway, whatever, we'll see. Have a great night, everybody.